Happy Memorial Day. So beautiful here in SoCal. The sun is shining, absolutely gorgeous today. See, look at that. How beautiful is that? Had to come outside, had to show you because I don't know where you're at, but it's just gorgeous out here. So hopefully you are enjoying the holiday weekend. For me, I've just been helping a lot of clients, a lot of new people joining in on the team, and just really loving on them to get their brand, off and running. But not why I came on here today to talk about business. As I said, every Monday with Molly, there's always going to be some kind of topic that is going to, just really enlighten you and give you value. And what I want to talk about today is just something that's really, really powerful that a lot of people hate. And I'll emphasize the hate. I've been there where I just don't like doing this, but the power of being in isolation is absolutely key. So being in isolation, being by yourself, oh gosh, like when I even think about it, it just sounds horrible, right? And it really, at the beginning, like if you really don't like being with yourself and you really don't even know yourself, of course that's going to feel just awkward and weird, and you're just not gonna like it. But the reason why it's so powerful to be alone and to be in isolation is for the simple fact of you can't help other people. You can't get to where you want to be without being able to be alone, without being able to be by yourself and just, know who you are in order to really get to the root as to what you want to do. So I'm going to give you some examples. The power of isolation. Let's talk about yourself, self-reflection. Self-reflection is one of those things where it's really, really hard and a lot of people avoid it, right? So avoiding it by, going to the gym or hanging out with friends or choosing everything else, but taking time for yourself to be able to really understand, how do you feel in this moment? What do you want out of this moment? How are you learning? How are you growing? And that's something that's super, super key. And while I'm doing this video, I'm going to be like walking around a little bit because it's super bright outside. Oh, perfect. There, found the spot. So talking about, yourself, being able to be alone. So when you actually take time to be by yourself, I want you to drop below the raised hand emoji if you actually take time to do things on your own. If you actually take the time to self-reflect and to really dig up what you're feeling and what's going on, because that right there is the first part of isolation that most people hate and most people want to avoid because they don't want to talk about their feelings. They don't want to admit that they're hurting and that they're broken, that they're upset, that they're angry. But what you really do find through all that hurt and misery, and unfortunately, it's always based, life is always based around pain points, unfortunately, because again, people do not take the time to really put out the praise and excitement and things that are just so amazing in your life. Think of social media as an example. Like a lot of people use it as airing their dirty laundry, and they don't use it as, hey, look at this amazing accomplishment. Look what I've been able to do, and here's my journey. A lot of people want to post the end result, but they don't want to post like how they got there. So maybe, you're somebody who's just made 6 figures for the first time, or somebody who's just, became a millionaire, or somebody who just made an extra $300 by whatever. It doesn't matter. By explaining how that made you feel of getting something that you want. Maybe it's not money, maybe it's a relationship, or maybe it's a puppy, or maybe it's a new place to live. It doesn't matter. But being able to self-reflect and really think of, okay, here are the joys, here are the hardships, and being able to express that to yourself in isolation, how that made you feel, is key. Because so much we want validation from other people. We want to jump on Facebook, we want to go to our friends, go to our parents, and be like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And instead of us forming our own opinion based on our self-reflection, ooh, I'm preaching right now. Instead of forming our own opinion based on self-reflection, we want to get validation from others. We want to hear what they have to say so we can form that into our own opinion. You guys, this is so deep right now. It's insane. But so many of us do not take that time to be with ourselves because it's scary. We don't know what it's like. We don't know what's going to come up. We don't know how emotional we're going to get, but that's okay. Because how are you supposed to heal from that pain if you do not take time to be with yourself? And you really got to, I'm talking about easy way to do it, you guys. If you're wondering how to do it, 10 minutes in the morning when you wake up, lay there and just say 3 things you're grateful for. 3 things that you're looking forward to from the day, and 3 people that have really blessed your life. Take 10 minutes to really ponder and put that out there. 10 minutes before bed, brain dump. Speak it, write it in a journal. I recommend writing it in a journal as to what happened today. Brain dump on the page, good, bad, the ugly, and be able to brain dump that negativity outside of your head before you go to sleep, because what are you going to dream about? Something anxious and maybe hard. And I don't know about your dreams, because I don't even know if you remember what those are, but I know some of mine can be really anxious and fast paced, and like I get overwhelmed because I have so many things going on in my life if I do not take time to reflect. And I'm not perfect at it. I really am not. But I wanted to bless you with that information because how powerful it's been for me. So self-reflection in isolation is key. You got to do it with yourself before you can, really bless anybody else. The second thing that I had, and I wrote this down, so I'm just checking in, is entrepreneurs. So a lot of entrepreneurs on my page, a lot of entrepreneurs follow me because I've been an entrepreneur for almost 3 years now. Love entrepreneurship, you guys. It is not for everybody, but it is such a beautiful, hard, emotional, rewarding experience to become an entrepreneur. Now you can become an entrepreneur, own your own business 100%. Maybe you're in direct sales, network marketing, multi-level marketing. I have a lot of people on here that follow me for that. When it comes to entrepreneurship, isolation is absolutely key. And here's something that I've always wanted to do, and I need to figure out a way, is a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people that you see, they're making the millions. They're making the millies, as I'd like to call it. They have the lifestyle that you want, everything. You see the end result, you're like, wow, lucky them, I wish I could be there. And you're actually projecting that negative energy on them, being like, gosh, I wish I had that, why not me? But what you don't see is behind the scenes as to what they had to do to get there. The negative bank accounts they've had, the relationships they sacrificed, the relationships they lost, maybe people they lost along the way too early, too soon. Maybe the failed business attempts, the dozens and dozens of failed business attempts. But you see that lifestyle and you're like, oh my gosh, I want it. But honestly, for all my entrepreneurs out there, small business owners and people that are getting it on their own, first of all, you're not alone because it takes an army. So never feel like you have to be alone. Always ask for support. Definitely something I'm working on. But first and foremost, if you have friends that are entrepreneurs and you don't support them, why? Why not? They bust their butt trying to make the dream work. And I know so many people that will not support their friends and family in small business. Or even just say, oh, let me see if I can connect you with somebody. They rather ignore that, go to a box store or like a big box store, like a department store or whatever, or a regular grocery store or whatever it is that they're selling somewhere else rather than support their friends. And for all my network marketers, entrepreneurs out there, you're going to hear this. And if you haven't heard this, write this one down. You will make more money with strangers than you will your own family and friends. And that right there, you guys, is so hard. So the importance of being alone and isolation as an entrepreneur is so key, because you're going to face rejection. You're going to face family and friends that just are doubting you, projecting their fears on you and not really believing what you believe. But that's okay, because God did not give them your vision. That's totally okay. So you got to remember that. But as an entrepreneur, as somebody who's running their own business, doing their own thing out of their own creation, you have to take time by yourself. And that time by yourself can maybe be just listening to podcasts, listening to a former call you had from a mentor, finding a mentor, being able to reflect and see where you're at in your journey, because you're going to get a lot of rejection and a lot of hard stuff. And too many people fail in network marketing, entrepreneurship, small business because they can't handle the rejection. Because people are so nasty and mean. And honestly, I think the people that are nasty and mean are just upset that this person's growing and trying, and that person is stagnant, and they're projecting their fears on them. And I call BS. So if you're one of those people that is a hater on network marketing, a hater on MLM, a hater on, entrepreneurs, check yourself. Honestly, check yourself, because you're on my feed right now and I am one. So obviously there's some value that I'm bringing to you. So for all my entrepreneurs, all my network marketers, direct sales, drop the rocket ship emoji below, because I would love to see who on my feed is in that space, because I think it's so powerful. And I've honestly learned so much personal development, and I've learned so much as a business person and as a woman through network marketing, you guys, because it's personal development with a compensation plan. So if you're looking to develop as a person, find a company, something you resonate with, and lock in on their personal development, because there's so much in it. Yes, you're going to face rejection. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, you're going to cry. Yes, you're going to whatever. There's going to be a lot that happens, but there's so much joy and so many blessings in it if you choose to see it that way. So if you're choosing to see it as a negative thing, like, oh, these people are always dropping my DMs, they just want to sell me on something. Well, the world is selling you on just about everything. So you got to sell yourself on, is this something for me? Is this something that empowers me? Is this something that's good for me or not? So anyways, as entrepreneurs, you have to be in isolation to be able to handle all the crap that comes at you when you talk to people about what it is that you're doing. And understand this. I want you to write this down. Note takers are money makers, you guys, hands down. I want you to write this down. Wow, this is live and I totally forgot what I was going to say. Note takers are money makers. Wow, well, we're gonna have to come back to that because I totally just forgot. But anyways, as entrepreneurs, you have to be in isolation. You have to be able to handle the crap that comes your way. You just do. No matter what. You know, I've had close people to me that really hate what I do when it comes to when I was in network marketing. Now I'm not really in it. I have an affiliate program with the company that I'm with now, but it's something a little bit different from what I was doing before. But I love the space of personal development. I absolutely love it. So always remember, what you do in the dark will always show in the light. Oh, and here's what I was going to say. You know, when it comes to entrepreneurs, you guys, I just forgot again. This is absolutely crazy. I can't believe this is live. Whatever. We're just going to move on. It's going to come to me. Gotta love it. So if you're nervous of ever going live and you're going to forget stuff, that's okay because it just happened to me twice. So this is the raw and the real, and I'm totally fine with it. So last but not least, we're going to talk about relationships and being in isolation. That's something that is absolutely key. All right, it came back to me. I'm gonna hold on and go back to it. Sorry, you guys. So when you have a product or thing, again, this is a thing I just forgot about 3 times on this live. When you have a product or service that you are so sure that what you have is gonna bless other people, and when you know that it's bigger than you, it does not matter if they want in or not. It does not matter because you know what you have is so wildly valuable that it's going to bless them. And if they say no, being like, okay, it's not for you. And you know in your heart that this is going to bless you so much financially, physically, whatever, spiritually, whatever it is that you have, that it's okay for rejection. And that can go for anything in life. As an entrepreneur, as yourself, as in relationships, whatever. When you feel rejected, you just got to know that either I am so valuable, it doesn't matter if you accept me or not because I accept me. Or my product or service is so valuable, it does not matter if you accept it because I know that it's changed thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives. And when you fully understand that, rejection is so much sweeter because some people just aren't meant for your message. But the people that are will draw to you if you give them that energy and you put it out there for them to know what you're doing. So take note of that. Because again, I forgot about it 3 times on this live and I finally got it. So take note. Okay, so the last thing. Isolation with relationships. And this is what I wanted to end on because this really has my heart. We're talking about relationships. Our entire being runs on relationships. Our relationships with the people we work with. Our relationships with our significant other. Our husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends. Our family, our friends. It all runs on relationships. And when one of those goes sour, it's going to affect every area of your life. Because you're probably thinking like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Or, and if you have that victim mentality, stop. Because if you think it's you, then it probably is. And you should probably go talk to that person about it to squash it, right? Otherwise, it's going to keep flowing in a negative direction. But everything rises and falls in relationships. And like I said, when one goes sour, the rest of your life suffers. So you have to be able to keep yourself in isolation. And I'm going to talk to all the people who are not married in relationships out there. You have to be single. You have to embrace singleness, you guys. And I was that person that was a relationship hopper, raising my hand super high because that was me not that long ago. Well, probably a year or 2 ago, that was me because I could not be single. I wouldn't allow myself to be single. I did not want to be single. I did not want that isolation to really find out why did every single person that I was in a relationship with cheat on me? Why was I having this cheat on me sign across my forehead? Who was I being to allow them to do that to me? Now, it's not saying that I'm taking blame and fault for them cheating on me. It's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that what were my ways of being? Who was I showing up as to attract those kind of men? Or who are you showing up to attract those kind of women? For you to have somebody just cheat on you all over the place. Like, it was just crazy to me that kept happening. But I had to put myself in isolation, being like, all right, Molly, time out. Who are you being? How are you attracting these men? And are you even the person you want to be? I've said this before in other lives. I was almost engaged once. Had a man ask for my parents for permission to marry me. Had a ring. never asked, end up finding out that he cheated on me. And most people be like, oh my gosh, I'd be devastated. And I always get asked, like, how did you get over that? My parents were like, you didn't even like take time to get over that. And I was like, here's the thing, I didn't need time. Because yes, what he did was wrong, and it hurt me, and it hurt my family. But the person that I was in that relationship was not the person that I needed to be. I was weak. Mentally, I was weak. Guys, I even asked him to take me back after he cheated on me, because I was like, no, we can work through this, because I'm such a ride or die. And he said yes, and then he said no. And thank God he said no, because I did not need to be in that. But I'm sharing all of this with you because, yes, was that painful? I was actually more hurt, not him cheating on me, but the fact that he asked my dad for permission to marry me. My dad has to now say yes more than once. But praise God, I did not go down that route. Praise God that I found out that he cheated on me, right? Why am I telling you this? I was able to get over that so quickly because I was not the person I needed to be to even be married, to be in a relationship like that. And that really showed me a lot, where it's like, okay, back it up here, skirt. Who is Molly, and who does Molly need to be, and who does Molly need to show up in the world as? And for me, I know for me, is I have a light inside me, and I love being able to help impact people with that light, because that's a God-given light that I get to share with other people. That's who Molly is. But back then, Molly was scared. She was weak. She just wanted to get married and wanted that security. And what, in a man that couldn't even be faithful? No. So all my people on here that are in relationships that are just dead ends, maybe you've been cheated on, it's up to you if you want to work it out. It really is. But also know your worth. And who are you being? Are you even the person you want to be? Are you the person that you want to be? Because I've definitely found myself being different with different people. And it's like, wow, why is that? You got to ask yourself, who do you want to be? But the only reason I knew who I wanted to be is because I spent that time alone. Back to the isolation part. Too many of us want to be in relationships and we don't want to be alone. We're scared of being alone. I'm almost 30. I'm almost 30, and it's just like being not married with no kids yet. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like my clock's ticking, right? But thank God I have, somebody special in my life that really supports me in that. So the point is that you have to be single long enough to know what you really want. Ladies, gentlemen, you got to write down what you want your significant other to be like, look like, what you want them to bring out of you. Because if you put that out there, it will come. You just got to be patient. And don't be so impatient that you go hopping around to whatever that makes you feel good at night. Don't be that, midnight text that somebody sends, oh, I miss you, I want to hang out. No. I want to be the everyday text. I want to be the everyday text, and you showing me how you really do feel about me. And the only reason I know that, you guys, is because I've been in isolation for so long. I really found out who is Molly spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. And that ish was freaking hard, I'll tell you that. But it is so important for you to do that. But you have to be alone. And I mean alone. And for you to really dig deep on what are your insecurities, what do you want, what do you not want. Because you deserve to be picky. You are an expensive gift. Every life is an expensive gift, but a lot of us sell ourselves short. Hence, people like Robin Williams. You think he had it made. He was fame, fortune, funny, and he committed suicide. Too many people put on this front because they don't take the time to be in isolation with themselves. Don't be that person. And if you are that person that's thinking about, my life just isn't worth it, call somebody, reach out to somebody, because maybe isolation's too tough for you right now. But reach out to somebody that you can really lean on to get that support from, because it doesn't make you weak. That makes you human, because humans crave connection. But sometimes we connect too much and we ignore our own thoughts and our own inner child and being. What do I mean by that? We ignore that voice on the inside of us that is screaming out, I need this and that, but we can't hear him or her anymore because we've just been so muted for so long. The only way you're going to find that out is taking yourself on. Personal development, spiritual development, be in isolation, and then mix in there some trainings. Putting yourself around people who are empowering, who are going places, who are going to stretch who you are and really push you outside of your comfort zone. And I can speak to that because this past weekend I just went to a women's empowerment training, and it was just there's so many queens in there taking themselves on. Mothers, 15-year-olds, 60-year-olds, everybody in between, different races, it was just so amazing to be in that, because you don't have to be there. No one's requiring that of you. But you love yourself that much, or you love the people around you that much that you decide to take yourself on. And if you're not putting yourself in those environments, then you're in stagnant environments, and you cannot grow if you do not choose to grow. So be intentional, because growth should never be optional. You have to be intentional with it. So the power of isolation is so powerful, because when you find out really what you want, it's easy to map out everything else. What you want to do business-wise, what kind of man, what kind of woman do you want? You have to ask yourself that, but you will not know the answer until you take time for yourself. And the last thing about relationships, it's not always going to look how society says. And I may step on some toes here, but I'm cool with it. I really felt like sharing this. For example, I've been told all my life, Molly, you need to have somebody who is either a, tall, dark, and handsome, 6'6", white guy, or a, 6'5" basketball player, professional athlete, or, a CEO. And I was like, why? And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, those guys know that they got it. And those guys think that they can have whatever they want. And those guys, honestly, I'm sorry, guys, those are the ones that are likely to cheat because they have options. And they don't want to settle down because they know they have options. I'm not going to be anybody's second place. And I'm damn sure not going to be, like having my man going out there and cheating. So unfortunately, society's put, you need to do this, but those people who fit in that category, the stereotype is real. And if you're not in that stereotype, then this doesn't apply to you. If this triggers you, maybe it does apply to you. If this really revs you up, that's what trigger means, maybe it does apply to you. But at the end of the day, a lot of us women are waiting for that picture perfect man. And for me, it's like, I want the man's heart. I want somebody who is full of love, full of God, full of vibrancy, full of just passion and purpose. And I don't care if he's 6'6" or 5'6" or 4'10". 4'10" would be kind of odd, but whatever. It does not matter, because the heart matters. And the looks will fade. Because those who have that look and think that they got it, chances are they're out there just messing around and they're not taking life seriously. And again, if this triggers you and you're like, this is so false, look inside as to why that is triggering you. And is any of this true? Real talk. Real talk. So anyways, you guys, that's what you're going to get on here, is Real Talk with Mondays with Molly. And I'm just surprised at how many people actually hopped on this holiday weekend. But I just hope you're having such a blessed weekend. And, take the time to pour back into yourself. Be in isolation on a daily basis, whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour. Take time to pour back into you. Get a journal, write it out, brain dump. So then when you dump this into paper, then it's allowed to open up more space for other things. So hands down, I think this was one of my favorite Mondays with Molly, because it just really had me flowing on so many things that are so prevalent in today. I don't want to sit here and talk about, just cookie cutter BS that most people do. Miss me with all that. So whether you're watching this live, watching this recorded on any platform that this is on, I want to say thank you. And I want to say, I hope you got some value from this, and whatever value you did get, drop it in the comments. Don't just take it for yourself and run, drop it so you can share it and bless other people. And if you're watching this on the replay, put #replay. If you have somebody that could really use this message, tag them in the comments or even share it. You guys, there's so much value in this, and I'm so grateful because I've gotten this value from other people that have poured into me. So thank you so much for hopping on, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, see ya.